First, though, we're asking if lap dance clubs are sleazy. Well, not according to Peter Stringfellow, who told MPs yesterday that strippers gyrating inches from their gentlemen customers were no naughtier than a night in your local disco. David Beckham posing in his pants, or even a little girl flashing her knickers. And that's Peter Stringfellow's choice of words, not mine. Now, MPs are considering making it much harder for lap dance clubs to open by tightening up licensing arrangements. They're currently classed as a leisure activity, like karaoke, but some want lap dance clubs classified as sexual establishments, like porn cinemas and peep shows, where licences are much tougher to obtain. Now, many politicians appeared sceptical of Stringy's claim that there was no sexual element to lap dancing. Maybe they're right to be suspicious. 4 years ago, a club called Spearmint Rhino was forced to clean up its act following newspaper allegations of prostitution. 2 undercover cops were offered sex with women at a rate of £500 for 30 minutes in a private room. So, the question is, are lap dance clubs just harmless entertainment? Would you want one in your street? Would you have a problem if your husband was to go to one on his way back from work with a load of work colleagues? Of course, it has to be said, acres of naked flesh isn't guaranteed to turn you on, as this picture of a certain lap dance club owner still proves.
Sprayed gold. Yes, of course. Gold finger.
So, well, who's been to a lap dance club on the panel?
I have.
OK, Julia?
I have 2 occasions, one with an ex-boyfriend and another with a friend of mine who's a location manager, and it was the setting for a series that he was working on. Both occasions, I have to say, were not sexually charged. If anything, with the ex-boyfriend, it was quite tomfoolery and sort of boys just being boys, really, but certainly not trying to engage in full sex or anything like that. And the other occasion was simply just hilarious. My friend Matty had all of these girls. They were all working for this scene.
When you say it's not a sexual atmosphere, I mean, can you naked women gyrating? From a bloke's perspective, unless they're gay, that is going to be sexual, isn't it?
I think it's definitely adult, and I do agree that the loopholes should be tightened up, that you shouldn't be able to open a lap dancing joint in the same way that you can open a cafe. I think it's a cafe and a karaoke bar that they classify. I think that's wrong. Clearly it is adult, absolutely, by its very nature, but then there are lots of things that are adult in nature and that you're responsible for as well. And it doesn't mean adult, therefore sleazy, does it? Does it? Mel?
Well, I think it's a tough one coming from Peter Stringfellow saying, you know...
to be fair, his clubs are very well run.
I know they are.
But he has an image of being sleazy, therefore to come and to be out there and defending it kind of seems a bit dark. But, I mean, yes, you can, I think, be watching... I mean, I have not actually been to a lap dancing club. I have had no desire to, but images that one sees... very often, I think you can see the naked form, male or female, and it not be sexual, even if it's sort of trying to be, because actually it's failing desperately badly. And I think that there's quite a lot of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, I suppose, a similar debate to Page 3 in the Sun. Is Page 3 in the Sun sexual?
You just turn it over, don't you, and kind of...
Yeah, but I mean...
You've got experience.
Well, let's hear it from Mel.
What are the mechanics of a lap dance? Because I don't actually, I've never been to one.
There is people will be sitting around paying through the nose for drinks. You will, in many cases, exchange buy-in fake money. So you give £10, you get £10 of fake money back. Women will come over, and each time there's a new record starts, these women will come over to you naked, or at least mainly
actually
naked.
No pants.
Yeah, well,
no,
in some of them, in Stringfellow's their pants, some of the clubs they're naked.
Thongs,
no, naked on top. And they will gyrate literally with their lady bumps this far from your face.
Sort of, and you're sitting down. You're not standing up with them.
Or in my case, sort of leaning over like that. So my memories of it was that it wasn't a particularly sexually stimulating experience, but I think 240 volts wouldn't have been a particularly stimulating experience to me at that point. But I have concerns about the girls that are drafted into it because of the £1,000, you know, or you're going to earn £1,000. You're going to earn £1,000 dancing naked for drunk blokes.
It sounds pretty bleak to me, gang, I've got to say. I mean, I know some dancers, some professional dancers, who might go and do it for a short while just to earn a bit of extra cash when they're not doing, you know, shows in the West End or whatever it is, and I kind of think, well, fair dues, they're dancers, that's up to them, but it's the kind of young, it's your kind of vulnerable 16-year-old that's going in with the eyes... eyes shut and thinking, oh, I'm going to become a star, I'm going to be the next whatever.
also, I mean,
They think it's a fast
They
track
think
to
it's
celebrity as well. They're going to meet their footballer or they're going to meet their...
That frightens me. I just think that's awful.
The acid test here really is whether or not you would want one in your street, because we're talking about licensing arrangements. There's been a massive boom in them. They're everywhere. I mean, there's not just central London. Most towns have got one around now, as well as the big cities. And if you don't want one in your street, we've got to think of what are the reasons for it. Is it because of what's going on behind us, the kind of people it's going to attract?
I wouldn't want Soho at the end of my...
No, but Soho has traditionally, historically, always been...
But I love Soho, and I think Soho is such a culturally important part of London.
It's always been a red light district within London. It always has been. Now, the end of my road, well, I say the end of my road, about half a mile from where I live, in a residential area with a few shops, there is a lap dancing club there. And I don't understand why it's there. I mean, it's so close to the West End where I live. You think, well, if people want to go to that, they can go to the West End. Because it can be.
Because it can be.
Yeah.
And that's what needs to be looked at, and that's what needs to be changed, I think.
But it's also where this stuff can lead. I mean, there are kids who are going to go and dance, and they're going to end up in the prostitution trade because there'll be people recruiting from there.
Yeah, there's a dark side to the story.
And ultimately, with all the way things are going and the way we look at health and safety, it's about, you know, well, you could get killed by a falling light, therefore you can't have lights hanging from the ceiling. We go, well, you shouldn't really be opening up places where somebody can get poisoned and become less of themselves. I mean, because otherwise, you know, where do we draw the line? I mean,
let's throw it over to you. Let's find out whether you think lap dance clubs are sleazy, whether you wouldn't mind having one at the end of your street, or indeed next door to you. Amy.
OK, our first caller used to be a dancer for 5 years. It's Jane on line 3.
Morning, Jane.
Hi there.
Hi there. Would you like one at the end of your street?
Well, it wasn't literally round at the end of my street where I worked. It was just a few miles from me.
But would you want one in your street?
No, I wouldn't, no.
Why not?
Well, for many reasons, but one reason is because of the amount of men it attracts. I wouldn't like that, the amount of men that it attracts on the streets.
The amount, the kind of men, did you say, sorry?
No, the amount of males.
The amount, OK. Well, what's your overall view of lap dancing? Is it sleazy?
It can be. It depends where you work.
Right.
And who you work for, but most clubs are quite sleazy, yes.
Most clubs are quite sleazy. Are you saying that you would be in favour of lap dancing clubs being reclassified?
Yes.
Right. Because of the sexual connotations to what goes on?
Yes.
OK. Did you enjoy your 5 years as a lap dancer?
Yes and no. I enjoyed it because of the experience and it got me on the property ladder. And now I'm self-employed, so yes, I did. I like the power side of it, and I like the money because it's quick money and it's very good money. But the sides to it also that you do see and hear, and obviously you get talked to not always so nicely by drunken men.
Yeah, sorry, gentlemen, which is the ubiquitous term, I believe, for customers.
I wouldn't say they were all gentlemen.
Gentlemen's club.
Yes.
Yeah.
OK, thanks very much for the call, Jane. Bless you. Let's have another.
OK, we've got Jackie on line 2.
Jackie, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Hi there. Do you think they're sleazy?
I don't think you can generalise all lap dancing clubs because there are different categories.
Well, hang on. Well, we can generalise because at the moment, if you want to open a lap dancing club, right, you get a licence, the general licence that goes to cafes and karaoke bars.
Oh, no,
That's
I agree that should be changed because there are, I mean, like the dancers said before and part of your panel, there are, you know, you've got Spearmint Rhino and those sort of clubs where they are sort of glamorised. I used to work in the city where I've been to several lap dancing clubs with clients or customers and I don't know, sometimes I think in the higher end lap dancing clubs, it's the guys that sort of made to look, I don't know, they go in there thinking that the dancers are actually looking at them, that they do like them, that they do fancy them, and like you say, they go away spending thousands and thousands of pounds that usually gets put through the company.
Right.
But then you've got the other end, I won't name some names, but then, you know, you'd go behind curtains and other stuff goes on.
Jackie, can I ask you, as a woman, I mean, how do you feel when male colleagues, suggest that we round off an evening by going to a lap dance club? Are you cool with that?
I would normally just stand at the bar. I wouldn't go. I wouldn't go into the.
But I mean, it's one of the things that I have a problem with. There is a pressure within the city to stick there, to do the deal, to do the business, and there you are effectively being cajoled into going somewhere.
Oh, no, no.
Well,
And yet a group of girls will say, "Oh, let's go for a night at the Chippendales.
Yeah.
We're on a stag night,
Yeah,
so
but
we're going to go to a
that's
male. We're going to go to a male strip night."
You're missing the point. You're missing the point, Julia. If a group of girls going to the Chippendales, it's a group of girls going to the Chippendales. If it's one woman with 5 blokes going to a lap dance club,
Feeling she has to go.
Feeling she has to go.
Otherwise-
She doesn't
that's
have to
totally
go.
different. Well, she does if she's taking 5 clients out and they want to go to a lap dance club.
Or she says,
If you-
"Sorry,
if you
that's
pick-
offensive to me. I'm not going to go. I'll take you down to a late
that's
night
really
bar."
going to go well down in the business
Well,
community.
you know.
If you pick up any business magazine, you'll see lap dancing clubs advertised in there all over the place. There's clearly, this is where business is done.
I think we've just got a
It's-
tendency to be too prudish.
Yeah?
And these are definitely...
I've never been
it's-
called prudish, I
It's
have to say.
adult, for sure, but we're all
Yeah.
adults and we all make informed decisions and
Yeah,
informed
but I
choices.
think a lot of women might find it's sexist.
I think, like all businesses, you can run a good business and a bad business. You can run a dirty business, you can run a clean business. And I think that, you know, this is one of those areas where it's very, very important, clearly, that there should be clear guidelines. You know, you've said yourself, Stringfellow's quite a clean...
But isn't
Well,
the issue here about licensing and the ease of getting licenses?
Yeah.
And then if you're going to give, if the licenses are easily given, how are you monitoring which ones are
Exactly.
technically
And I think-
sleazy?
yeah. I think we all agree that licenses
enough,
should be
enough.
tougher.
We've got to move on.